Good deal. It's like 3 days after making the marzipan. Now we're going to keep going. The never-ending Christmas cake, because you have to put a lot of Christmas spirit in it.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, Brandy.
Looking over the Royal Icing, like, why does anybody ever buy icing? Like, icing is so simple to make.
It's very simple, and this one is really a rock solid recipe, I think. And especially when you can use this in a couple different ways. So you can use this recipe for actually covering cookies, but we're going to use it for the covering the cake. And here, you should probably see what the cake looks like now.
So this is what first was baked. Let's see, like a month and a half ago.
I think it was then, yeah.
And then, because it was before Thanksgiving, a month and a half ago, and then fed Brandy once a week. And then 3 days ago, we made the mascarpone.
Nope, marzipan.
Marzipan. Oh, yay. I always say them backwards.
And, I was going to weigh it to see where I'm at right now. So right now, it is at 7 pounds, 5 ounces.
Whoa, it just keeps gaining weight.
I don't have a scale large enough unless I like weighed myself and then held the cake and weighed myself holding the cake. My food scale, I think, only goes up to 5 or 6 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay. I think mine goes up to maybe 10. Something like that. That's my
The cat disagrees.
The cat thinks there's a scale.
And what I like about my scale is that it's an OXO one, but I like this little guy comes out. So
if you have a bigger pot, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
And it was like about 10 or 11 bucks. So, and it's got a good review on the America's Test Kitchen website.
So my question is, why do we have to add another layer to this cake? Because we put
tradition.
Tradition.
So you had the regular cake, and then you put apricot preserves on it.
Yep.
And then you put the almond,
the marzipan.
Marzipan, and now you're gonna put royal icing.
This is to make it look pretty.
Okay.
And
I don't know. I saw Lulu. Lulu is like a pottery expert, and hers is really nice and smooth.
I know hers is incredibly smooth. Lulu, where's yours?
So
yours, because it's tall and skinny, and I think that's more traditional, is to have it taller and skinnier. But I didn't have a tall hand, so that's mine.
Very nice. That looks awesome.
And I had like a little opening underneath that big dome lid before, and it was drying fine, and it's pretty dry. It's hard.
Yep.
And I think I'm just gonna leave it on this thing, right? Or
yeah, I'm just gonna leave mine on this. So
it looks like a wheel of cheese to me, not.
I know. Yeah, they do.
I wonder if I should put it on the cutting board so this stays nice and clean. You know what I'd love to have is like a little I do.
Yes, the turntable thing would be amazing.
If you had a lazy Susan, it's much easier to put.
Howard, do you think we could get them a lazy Susan? You have access to
lazy Susan.
Like decorate a cake, it makes it so much easier when you can spin the cake.
But
but really, with this one, you can, if you want, you can make it all nice and totally smooth, or you can make it with lumps of like snowy mounds all over the place.
There you go.
I like the snowy mounds.
I think what I want to do a snow scene, but I was wondering if I could put a lake.
You could do that.
That's frozen, and then I could have I have a little ice skater that I could put on there, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just lucky to put frosting on. So
I have a feeling that I'm not going to care for the royal icing. Like, I'm not going to want every bite to have a ton of it. Oh, let me see.
Are these cute? These are my mom's little figurines that she always put on the cake.
Oh, I love that.
It's like getting some mail, someone getting a little bit of mail.
And a little deer.
A deer.
Huh.
And what is it? This is
Here, oh, that's somebody with a snowman.
snowman.
No man.
Mm-hmm.
One person's hugging a snowman.
Yep, yep. And then Santa and another.
Oh,
So these were hers. So I'll probably stick these all.
Those look really old.
They're not that old. They're probably 10 years old. So if you're going to put anything on the cake, you have to put it on when the frosting is wet, because once it gets dry, it's going to be solid as a rock.
now, whatever we put on the cake, that royal icing, even though it gets hard, we can wash it off.
Yes.
Wash off the icing.
Yeah.
Royal icing is easy to take care of.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my skater.
So basically this is eggs and powdered sugar. Does the eggs need to be at room temperature or?
No, you know what? This doesn't say. So I think it's supposed to be cool. So the egg, I don't think they should be at room temperature. And so this calls for 3 egg whites, 1 pound of confectioner's sugar, which is powdered sugar, and that's about 450 grams. And then this has 1 teaspoon of vanilla. The other recipe I saw had 1 teaspoon or so, or 3 tablespoons or something of lemon. So I kind of like, I might use lemon instead of
whatever
vanilla.
the flavor of your choice.
Whatever you want. You could match it to the, what's it called? To the marzipan and go with almond. But
Oh, I think I might do. Now you're talking about lemon extract?
no, lemon juice. So I'm using lemon juice because I found a lemon in my fridge that still I think is good.
So when I watched that little show that you sent us, the guy put like what, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract in his?
His recipe calls for 1 teaspoon.
Oh, 1 teaspoon.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put 1 teaspoon of lemon?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
think I'm gonna do that too.
So you said 450 grams of powdered sugar or?
Yeah, 450 grams of powdered sugar.
Or 1 pound.
Or 1 pound, yep. And then remember that powdered sugar is also called confectioner's sugar. So shall we begin?
Here's my little skater.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's adorable.
he's magnetic on the bottom. He actually lives on top of this music box and skates around when the music box is going. But instead now I have this really weird little, I don't know what he is. He's got magnets on all 4 legs or appendages. And then anyways, so I'm gonna, the bear that was, I wonder how I can make if I had a little mirror, I could like set it on.
You could bury a little mirror in it.
I don't know.
Well, I guess first we have to make the actual icing.
Yes.
But
And then,
all this stuff has
and
to
then, I mean, if you want to, you can also color the icing different colors for.
Yes, you could.
decorating.
Yep. My mom always made it just left it white because she's probably bored. So she didn't want to do anything else. I'll probably just leave mine white also because I kind of like the look. But I do have these red little, things, little decorations. So they're edible ones, or some of these guys. So that could be fun to sprinkle that around, but we'll see what sort of a mood I'm in.
There you go.
So, all right, shall we begin then? So we're going to, let me see if I can get this over here. There, can you see anything? Let me toss this down a bit. There, how's that?
for you, it's perfect baking weather. You said you got like 4 or 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna measure out, we're gonna weigh out 1 pound of powdered sugar. So can you see this, Laura?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
good
mean,
deal.
not the actual number, but we trust you.
Okay, good deal. All right, it won't take long. We're at 8 ounces right now.
And I learned, because we always grew our own eggs, that you would crack an egg into a bowl and then you would pour it into your pot in case,
Mhm.
because we had our own eggs, we always did that in case one was bad.
Yep.
So that's a very good practice with baking, because when you're separating the whites and the yolks also, because just in case you get a little yolk in one, that one
Mhm.
you'd have to dispose of. And then
Yeah, and actually, so I've just got this weighed out, but we should probably start the eggs first. And the one thing you want to make sure is that your bowl is clean. You don't want any bits of oil or anything in there. And I made sure that this is clean. I washed it again, and then I also just made sure I didn't have any bits stuck to my my whisk.
and sometimes you can also give it a little swipe with a little vinegar, and that
Exactly. Yep.
did an
We
extra.
all we all watched the video. So we want to go ahead and we want to separate the eggs. I need to get another bowl because I'll be right back. I'm gonna get another bowl.
Be
Okay. So I'm gonna put there. Can you see where my eggs are?
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so we're gonna just take this. And we don't want any yolk in there whatsoever.
And just use the shell itself to back chip it. Wait, oh, you're using your fingers.
I like to
I
use
use
my
the
fingers.
I always use the other side of the shell
Mhm.
because it helps separate it really well, I feel. But that, I guess I'm not as gentle with my hands as you are.
All right, toss that in. And
And
then,
it's a good practice to do what you just did, is do 1 egg at a time, just in case your third egg,
whoa, I dropped my
So-
egg.
yeah, ends
Well,
up getting a
especially
broken yolk in it.
exactly. Yep.
See, I always use the shell itself to scoop it.
I'm worried that I'm gonna break the yolk on it. That's why. And and also too, so apparently on this recipe, you can, what is it? Pasteurize your eggs if you need to. And it said, I think he said something about 140 degrees, take it up to 140 degrees for a certain amount of time.
140 degrees for 3 minutes is what I've
3
seen
minutes? Okay.
out there. But
Mhm.
if you're doing your own home eggs, you would want to pasteurize them. But the
Mhm.
what do you call it? The eggs you buy in the store are pasteurized.
Excuse my cat.
It's interesting, in Europe, they vaccinate the chickens so they don't have to pasteurize them. And then in the US, we pasteurize. You don't vaccinate the chickens and then pasteurize the eggs.
Mhm. Okay. So then we'll put our little whisk on. How's Lulu doing?
So I cleaned my bowl.
Mhm.
Now, are you gonna sift your flour like that guy did?
Yes. Or the sugar, yeah.
Sugar, sorry.
I did it. I wrapped one of my sets of gifts.
Yeah, see, that's how I always do it, like Lulu's doing with the shell,
Mm,
back and forth.
that's
yeah,
how I
you
used to
can-
do it. It's, yeah.
You can break the yolk pretty easy that way also, though, but it seems to really separate easily. the white and the yolk.
So once you get that in your pan, you just want to whisk it until it gets frothy. Let's see if I can get there.
At a really low speed. Can't really see it.
Can you see it?
Not really, no. There you go.
Okay.
And I suppose you could also do it in a blender instead of what do you call it? A mixer.
I think using a hand whisk or a hand mixer would be okay too.
I'm doing a hand mixer because my stand-up blender is not happy these days.
Oh, okay. And so this guy said to just take it so it's frothy.
And you're almost getting it as much as like meringue, where you get the little frothy peaks.
Yeah. And this is kind of frothy. I mean, if I saw this coming out of an animal's mouth or my own mouth, I'd be concerned. So I think that's frothy. That looks frothy. Okay. So I'm gonna bring you
And
over here.
I think the real secret is, you sift it and then you add it
Little bit
really,
by
really
little bit.
slowly.
Yeah,
That's where I always seem to mess up. I
you do too fast.
add the powdered sugar too fast to the eggs.
The cat says, go slower.
So
Do
are
you
you
think?
sifting now into the bowl that you're gonna mix, or are you just sifting it all at once?
I'm sifting it into just a separate bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want to add it to the mixing bowl very, very slowly.
Yep, a little by little, because that'll help keep the loft.
Lou, you need to move everything to one spot so you're not running back and forth.
Mhm. There's a lot of powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm gonna get a different food. My cat's sounding like she hasn't been fed yet. I just fed her not too long ago.
Oh, no, we know the rule of cats.
That's every cat.
Who can trick into feeding you some more? And the cat knows that we're all here,
Mm-hmm.
so she's hoping for a sucker. But a sucker was not born every day.
Mm-hmm.
And what did we look up? Powdered sugar is just very fine sugar and cornstarch.
Yep, exactly.
I wonder how hard it would be to get regular sugar and make it that fine yourself.
Probably
need
depends
blender.
on, it depends on your
I
blender.
imagine it would be very difficult.
I did
I
it
would
with a blender. You just put it in the blender and you whir.
How long?
Also,
And
you
then
use
just-
the spice grinder.
I can see doing it in a spice grinder.
It's similar to making rice flour, where you put the rice in the blender and then you just whir for a long time.
And then just add some cornstarch and you've got yourself some powdered sugar.
Well, and it was
Lulu, do you got a
interesting.
spoon? You can like scrape it inside there. It'll help a little bit.
What's interesting that you should say about the making your own. I've tried to grind my spice mixtures, like my garam masala, to be equivalent to what my aunties do in India, and their spice grinder is just a behemoth. It's an absolute workhorse. It gets things this fine. And I think that's what makes their food taste so much better than mine, because all the mixers here, the blenders, the grinders, everything, nothing ever gets it that fine.
Yeah, in India, they don't have any you know, everything is fresh and you grind it
Mhm.
right when you need it.
Yeah,
Yep.
imagine it's just a crucible and someone with 2 rocks just mash it up.
Mhm.
But
Watch it
This
move.
is, it is so dry in this house because of the heat on. I don't know if you can see this, you probably can't, but the powdered sugar is flying everywhere because of because of static electricity.
oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's all over. It looks
And
like
then
there's
we can blame the cat. Brought all
And
the
then Lulu has exactly opposite. She's so humid, it's all sticking together.
No, mine's a mess because I'm just not being careful. So there's powdered sugar everywhere.
well there, and if you look at mine, you can see that it's all over the place. I didn't spill it over there. It's just that's where it went. It's all over me.
Mine's all over the place.
Okay, so
I
should we
must
start?
have too fine of a strainer.
Mine was pretty fine. All right.
No, Lulu, you almost got it all.
No, look at I got a ton left. Right?
Well, I mean,
You mean you've done some.
yeah. So,
Okay.
so now,
so-
Suzanne, the secret is to just add it really patiently and slowly, huh?
Yep, little by little. Okay, are we ready?
And you have it on like medium speed.
Oh, yeah, medium. It seems to be what he was mixing it on, I think.
He
There we
was a
go.
hoot.
He was what?
He was a hoot.
I've got mine on 4.
Just like,
There, can you see it at all?
that's good, yeah.
Okay.
I still can't have the patience to have a cake sitting around in my kitchen for 2 months or a month and a half.
So proud of you.
Yeah, that never happened here. We eat it within a day.
It's like, next, Suzanne's going to teach us how to do the year-long Christmas pudding.
I'm excited for that one.
Just like, you're going to have to put a big sign on it. Don't eat it.
Right.
For all,
Only when you come over will I have to do that.
but
This is when we need time-lapse photography.
Yeah.
so does it seem to be mixing pretty good? You just like when doing it slowly?
I think so. You know, I don't see any loft yet.
It looks like you are getting some on the edge of the pan. So you might
Yeah. And I'll mix that in a minute.
get
Yes,
the spatula and push it down.
Mhm.
It's looking good, cake. It's no, we're not meeting.
It's a 2-month cake.
Let's see.
All right, a different way of doing it with the hand mixer. I think a hand mixer is almost easier. I mean, your hand would get tired, but you could get the edges of the pan easier.
Exactly. I know, I couldn't decide, so I went with this.
But I mean, you are mixing a whole pound of powdered sugar in.
Mhm.
So
All right. So here we go.
Now, if
Does
you
that
make a whole big batch of powdered sugar, I mean, this icing, I mean, you could store it in the freezer for a long time or in the fridge.
Oh, I think in the fridge, I wouldn't put it in the freezer.
Yeah, so you could make a really big batch and then just like when you're ready to do a whole bunch of cookies.
So quick question before I start. This is frothy enough?
I think so. That's kind of what I had mine at.
Maybe I'll hit, I'm gonna mute you guys so I don't.
Well, Zoom's supposed to mute loud sounds, but
Yeah, it's doing a great job with Suzanne. I can't hear the machine whatsoever from Suzanne.
that's
Really?
true.
That's
No, we don't. We don't
Can you
hear
hear the
your machine, so we can hear you talking and not the machine.
That's,
Wow.
that's really good technology.
Can you hear the cat meowing?
Yes, we can hear the cat. And
Every once in a
not
while,
the
yeah.
machine.
So yeah, like it almost seems to be. Oh, don't point your things upward. You'll shoot it all over the ceiling.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like the hand mixer is going quicker, but maybe it's too quick.
Well, and I'm reading in this, it says, don't rush it. So it says at low speed to allow the proteins in the egg whites to break down.
Did you hear that, Lulu? Don't do it too quick.
Wait, what happens if you do it too quick?
It breaks down the protein of the eggs.
Well, by going slow, let's see, hold on.
You
No,
mean
you
turn
want
it
it
to a
below.
meringue?
The low speed allows the protein in the egg whites to break down better.
Oh, okay.
It says this helps the whipped egg whites become more elastic and become more voluminous.
Voluminous.
So maybe you're trying to, I don't know. If you break them down too much, they don't have that elasticity anymore.
Yeah.
Yours is starting to look like a dough, Suzanne.
I know, isn't that funny? I'm gonna look at my cat. I'll be right back.
Lulu gave up using a spoon. She's just using her hand now. Just sprinkling it in. She's like, forget a spoon. This is so much easier. It seems like, and then, I mean, I did read if you mix it in too much, it has less volume. I mean, too fast. It causes the powdered sugar to, I guess, get too wet. I don't know. It just has less volume.
So it kind of sounds like a crapshoot to me. We shall see what happens.
I mean, if you're doing a pound of powdered sugar, what's like if you do it really quick, you have what? It'd be worth trying really quick and really slow and see the difference. Yeah, Suzanne, yours is almost looking like meringue.
Let's see.
For a second there, it had the sound of it, and then it muted it. Technology is getting so much better. It's like, it's just like, there's got to be powdered sugar all over your kitchen.
There it is.
Like, I've never managed to figure out how to not have powdered sugar go everywhere.
Let's see.
So I wonder if that's too many too much different flavors. If you have a lemon frosting, an almond layer, apricot layer, man, it's just like so many different flavors all in.
I think the apricot layer is just to, I'm gonna put the lemon juice in now,
Just to make it stick.
just to make it stick. Yep. Let's see, I'm gonna double check here what the recipe says.
Lulu,
So-
how's yours looking? Just like, you can leave it unmuted.
There's powdered sugar everywhere.
Yep.
It's just like,
Now, I think I need to add the liquid, the lemon juice,
Yep, that's what I just did.
because it's
But-
getting early and
no,
My-
they said to add that right at the end.
Yeah, I already added mine.
oh, it's at the end because I still have quite a bit of,
Yeah, put all the sugar in and then add because you want to like make it almost like a meringue.
all right.
If you put too much moisture in. You can leave it unmuted. It mutes the sound.
I think I'm killing my hand mixer.
Oh yeah? It looks like it's from the 70s.
I've got mine's from the
I don't know.
60s.
My blender is like olive green, so it's probably from the 70s.
My mother gave me this for a Christmas present when I was about 16.
So
I love this thing.
I'm gonna see what it, whoops, see where we're at right now with it. All right, it's still dripping. So there are no, we need to get stiff peaks.
so really, I mean, very similar to a meringue.
Exactly.
And similarly with a meringue, you don't want to whip it too hard because the meringue causes the egg to break down, I think. I don't really have the patience for meringue either, so I guess I
Well,
need practice.
Yeah, I know you could over whip butter or not butter, but whipping cream. Can you over whip eggs?
No, but he said that this will dry quickly. So if your house is dry, it may be getting stiffer.
Well, that's probably all the cornstarch in it, yeah.
And my house is super dry right now because, winter.
But you can't you don't put a little like humidifier?
Oh yeah, but I keep that in the bedroom. So. Okay, I've got like soft peaks now. I'm being very patient.
Yeah.
And how much?
1 teaspoon. And I really don't taste it.
Yeah, and I didn't think you would.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think,
it's just to add. I think it's just to add a little extra liquid.
I don't think you're gonna taste anything, whether it's
Mhm.
vanilla or almond. I mean, a teaspoon for as big as this is not that.
Yeah. Patience, patience.
My dad always says, be patient or become a patient, as in a mental institution.
Mhm.
Want patience now. All right, here we go.
How are you managing to not like Like take a little spoonful on your little finger to taste it.
I did try some.
Oh, okay.
It tastes like sugar. Powdered sugar mixed with water is what it tastes like.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's like still soft peaks. It's not, it's
It needs to have,
yep, it should hold itself upright. So,
yeah, it's still dripping.
yep, still dripping. Yep, got a little ways to go.
I mean, you don't really have to watch this if you just, I mean, you could be cooking something else
Mhm.
and then just check in on it, I don't know, every 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I don't know how focused you have to be with that. I would think it would go pretty quick, but we'll find out.
And you're doing it at medium speed.
I think so. No, it's low. It's at 3. So I want to. There's this in between. That would be like, that's a 3 right now. And a bunch of the frosting that's on the edge, it's already solidified around the edge of it. So this will be fun. I'll have to work fast-ish.
Lulu, could you come a little closer to us so we can see?
What?
Could you move the bowl a little closer to us? There you go. We can see it now. Now you can get some splatter on your computer.
Oh, my computer's covered in uh,
That's why you put saran wrap on your computer before you do this.
That's a good idea.
That way you can still see through it, but it can't get out.
At this point, we're using this computer like every week, so I don't know.
Mhm.
Pretty encrusted. But yeah, see, Lulu's got pretty good peaks ready.
Maybe I am just too slow.
So
Yeah, I mean,
a
she's
2 in the electric mixer that you're looking at, Suzanne, is equivalent to hand kneading bread. So 3 is barely above hand kneading bread. I would not say that's going to lead to stiff peaks unless you're using the whisk attachment.
Yeah, it is whiskey. I've got the whisk attachment on.
Okay, I would go with at least a 4
Okay.
or a 5 when I do my mixer to try and get stiff peaks.
I'm being too gentle.
yeah, Lulu's just whipping it up. She's like not messing around.
All right, now something's happening.
Which is interesting. There you go. You've got stiff peaks already, Lulu. Look at that on your mixer.
and it's real shiny.
There you go.
I'm gonna give it another minute.
Yeah, and it should be shiny also. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Lulu's not afraid. She's like, I'm wearing my mixer out, but I'm not gonna stop.
Killing it. I've killed food processors and Vitamix and oh my God. I'm obviously hard on my equipment.
Or you actually use it, maybe?
I'm on the second stand mixer if it makes you feel any better.
I think we're done.
I have just a little bit longer. I'm taking my time. Oops.
Yeah,
Hold on.
that's pretty stiff, right? I mean, it's a little.
The end of,
I mean, if you get your mixer and hold it straight up, it should have like a little point.
but the point should flop over. I think
Yeah, mine's flopping.
I
just
think
don't wanna
yours is
go-
perfect. Yeah.
I just don't want to go too far. What do you think?
Kitty thinks
Are you
it's
asking us or the cat?
I'm asking you.
I think it's good.
It's like, it's still flopping over though. Ah,
But you said it was supposed to flop over. Mine's flopping.
mine's flopping too much. I'm gonna go a little bit longer.
Yeah, Lulu's, yours is perfect, but you also went like full speed ahead the whole time, and Suzanne was doing it really, really gentle. So I think when you fluff the eggs, you're supposed to do it really gentle, and then when you add the powdered sugar, you're supposed to do it at a higher speed.
Okay, so are we supposed to like cover this? Because I'm afraid the guy made it sound like.
Well,
What?
we're gonna be using it all right away. It's only if you're gonna let it sit for a while. I'm doing it one more time here.
Mine is not. It's not like stiff.
Yeah, Lulu, I think yours is perfect. Yeah,
Okay, time to taste it.
shouldn't have much of it. Yeah,
Powdered sugar and water, right? Or powdered sugar and egg.
It's kind of disgusting. I
It
know
is. But that's, I mean, yeah.
that's an awful flavor. It tastes like cornstarch.
But oh, there we go. That's what I want. Nice. All right. Can you see that little peak down there?
yeah.
It's holding its shape.
It's like once it finally did it, it just did it. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, on my beaters, it's getting crunchy.
Okay. So
Sorry.
I'm gonna move this out of the way.
And Lulu, you said it was disgusting, and now you're like licking the beaters.
I haven't had dinner. I am so hungry right now.
cat is meowing to feed you.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. All right. Can you see the cake?
Yes,
Okay.
the cake.
Are we icing the cake now?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Month and a half later. And then how long do you let this sit before you can? That's my question every time we do this. When can I eat it?
I think by morning this will be solid.
You can eat it on Christmas, or it's a Christmas cake.
Well, it's called a Christmas cake, but you know what? We can use it at any holiday. I haven't lit my menorah tonight. I've been too busy.
Hey,
Sounds familiar.
yeah. Howard and I just did ours right before the show.
Oh,
'Cause
I
we've
have
all
one.
been very busy.
I have one, but then I had some friends who their car broke down, so I left right away after coming home, and
Oh man, look at Lulu's peaks. Wow. Those are-
it's so sad I can't see it. I just want to get my base layer on it. So
So Lulu, Suzanne's not being as gentle as you putting it on. She's just plopping it on.
I'm a glopper.
I'm gonna put a thin layer on because I just feel that that's what I want to do.
You do that. That's totally fine.
And then you're gonna have to put like little waves because you want to make like a lake or something on it, you said.
And go all the way over to the side.
Yep.
All the way the side, yeah, all the way down to the bottom.
You want to cover the whole thing.
Suzanne, how often do you think you bake? Because it seems like you really know how to put frosting on.
Oh, I don't make cakes that often. I think of how they make it in the shows, on the TV shows and stuff. And I try to emulate what they're doing. Emulate,
Which is-
imitate.
There you go. But it seems like you bake like very frequently.
In the wintertime I do, in the summertime, no.
That's smart.
Yeah, so like
Might as
I made
well.
a,
Yeah.
I made a, whatchamacallit, a banana bread last night. Because I just needed that extra to stand around and use some of my internal energy.
But also, I mean, it makes sense to like warm up the house with a nice smell.
Exactly.
Just like,
And to use that one banana that's been sitting out too long, or the 3. Whoops.
so you don't have like a whole freezer full of old bananas like I do.
Yeah, I do.
Just like,
Yeah, I totally have a whole bunch of them. And in fact, I have them already, like little labels, 3 bananas in here, 1.5 in here.
so Lulu, Suzanne's like dabbing it to make like little pockets now, but I think you like it really smooth. I mean, you made your your almond so smooth. I think you should show that off.
Well, I'm trying to do a thin layer. I'm not wanting thickness, but
But then are you going to put like little peaks also?
I don't know. I guess I should.
You can try different parts and try different things.
You
Maybe
have
on
food.
one corner I'll put a mountain.
Do you have food coloring? You could just like add a little blue to the existing and then make little peaks of blue on top.
Do I have blue? I probably.
But
You have green and yellow, I'm sure. Okay, mine's almost finished. It's like this part.
Lulu, I still think you should have left a little truth window so you can see that it's actually a cake and a cheese.
And not cheese.
I mean, yours is so perfectly smooth that, like,
No, I've never put
Give
things
that,
on mine.
that whole like hidden cakes thing. No, make it look like a cheese. Be one of those hidden cakes. Surprise, it was cake.
This
All
is
right.
weird.
Or the marzipan sushi. I mean, that.
Oh my God, these little guys.
you're
The
s-
little
put, you're putting your little people on it.
Yep.
Oh, you definitely need to take a couple pictures of that. So. Yeah, and you said you have to put all the figurines in right now because the frosting hardens.
Exactly. Yep.
Otherwise, you have to like glue it in, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Or have
And I'm not good with putting. I don't want the deer. Well, I'll put the deer on it. Mom would want me to put the deer on it.
So how do we store? I've got a lot of frosting left. How do we store?
And then you go num 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 num.
You put it, I think if you just put it like maybe in a Ziploc bag or some container and toss it in the fridge and then use it to put on whatchamacallit.
it has to be airtight so oxygen can't get into it. Otherwise, it'll keep hardening, right?
Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I wrecked that little spot. That's okay. I'm gonna like not do anything else to it.
Let me see your peaks. Oh, you did peaky peaks.
Yeah.
She just did with the tip of it. Yeah, you're doing it like that. We can't see it anymore, but yeah, that she just pulled. No, she just did. Put it on more of an angle, Lulu. And then just the tip, yeah, pull.
I did it like if I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, because then you get a little swerve.
And did you do it on the side as well?
I did, yep. I love that little, isn't that cute? The little.
I think, Lulu, you need more to get any.
It reminds me of the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Jack Skellington.
Yes.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
So
Halloween,
you
Halloween.
don't want to cover this cake so it hardens, correct?
Correct. Yep, you want it to get nice and hard. Oh, that
And
was pretty.
And that's it. It's ready to, well,
Yeah,
serve once it's hardened.
exactly. Yep.
All right.
And I have, here's what I have left. So not tons.
Yeah, so you used up most all of it.
Oh, I have a lot left.
Yeah, Lulu, you used about half of hers because she was
Yeah.
putting a really thin layer. But then,
Well-
hey, like you said, make a big mountain of it
Mhm.
on one side, and then you don't have to eat that one. It's just decoration.
Yeah, and you can use it for, yeah, if you wanted to make some, if you knew you're going to make some cookies, then you can use that and ice your cookies. Get my proper hat on.
There you go.
This is
No
so
problem.
pretty.
All right. Does anybody have any final questions or final, like, inspiration? Yeah, I mean, now that I know how to make this, I probably will never buy frosting. But I also want to figure out if I can make like the powdered sugar, so I can just, if that's possible. So I just, the less ingredients I have in my kitchen, the happier I am.
Mhm.
So,
Cool.
all right.
I would personally, this is probably good for cookies. It's just going to be a hard crunch, but I don't think a full, huge mouthful of it, unlike, whipped cream icing that I love.
Right. Yeah, like buttercream. Buttercream would be great. This, not so much.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're a small child.
Okay, wait a minute. Before we go, I have to, what did I do with,
Where's your thingamabobber?
Your decoration.
who got lost in the mess?
No.
Oh, well.
All right. Yeah, both of you just take a picture of it and share it, and then
Yes.
in the cooking group.
Mine looks like it's angry.
You think so?
It's all like kind of.
It's an
Well-
anemone. It's a
Well,
cake.
Lulu, if you get like a scoop of it, instead of spreading it out and just like with the knife, you just set it there and pull up, it'll make a big peak.
I wonder, dare I do that?
Why not?
Maybe it could be a peak that we just take off.
Well, just pull it up gentle. It's like now you're gonna have a bunch of really angry peaks. Just like so. All right. Thank you for spending a month and a half making this cake with us.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
That's fun.
it was fun. And we have to get together when we eat it.
Mhm.
I want to see. I think I am gonna take mine to.
but it's got a lot of brandy. You better not eat much of it.
No, there's not.
Dude, I just on that note, the tiramisu that we made, I bought decaffeinated instant coffee to make my next batch because I ate so much that night of that tiramisu. I was like wide awake. So this is the opposite. I eat a lot of my Christmas cake and then go right to bed.
It's like, all right.
Yay.
Yeah.
All righty. Cool.